okay, if my kids are going to be out of school, if I'm going to be out of work for the next few weeks, what don't we have in the house? We need more toilet paper. Yeah. So then they go to the grocery store, and it's literally flying off the shelves. That's what is going to happen on draft day. Teams are going to sit back, and they're going to assess their house. They're going to assess their team. And say to ourselves, okay, wait a minute. What don't we have? We don't have a franchise quarterback. We might have a guy that is a bridge quarterback. We might have an older quarterback that we're paying too much. We don't have the future.
Yeah, I think
so let's stack up for the future.
It's like toilet paper. It's not necessarily what they need, but everyone else is getting it, and it seems to be the thing we should get. There may be more important pieces, though. It might be an irresponsible choice. Maybe you should get a defensive back. You know what I'm saying?
But you still can't stop
frozen fruit
at the grocery store grabbing that toilet paper.
Everybody's grabbing it.
Whether it's a wrong decision or not, people will panic on draft day, and they may go out there and make a risky move and get something that they don't necessarily need. It's all about what they feel they want, not what they need.
That might have been Nate's best analogy
to date.
You think that goes on the reel?
That was unbelievable, Nate.
It just makes sense. You know what happens on draft day? We've seen it.
I also know what happens at the grocery store. I tried yesterday.
Nate, it was a very charming analogy that you made. Very, very well done.
Thank you.
The reason I like this mock draft, not just the order in which the QBs are there.
Charming. He said it. Charming. Don't worry about the
It's a two-layer joke. You could say it's to ply.
I'm going to be here all day on
As host, you have to sell the joke for Kyle. Go, good call.
Most of the time, Nate makes toilet paper references. He's being Cornholio from Beavis and Butthead.
Sip my water on that one.
Take a sip. Go on. I said thirsty for quarterbacks. Who isn't? We're making TV, baby.
Trying, folks.
Yeah.
Don't forget that there are teams further down in that first round who could also move up to grab some QBs.
Right.
So with that thirst, that parch, everybody's parched a little bit. Once things start rolling on draft day, there are teams that could bump up to make that first 3 QBs in the first top 5 a reality. So not just even in Charles's mock draft here, but there could be other scenarios where that's very, very feasible. And at the end of the day, we have our mock drafts, we have our sources, we have the whispers that we hear, but we're like Jon Snow. We know nothing until it actually happens.
So Kit Harington.
At the end of the day, this could, and I don't think it's not far-fetched. I really don't.
A lot of people are heading north of the wall right now. That's what we hear. So
you're right about that.
Say hi to John.
All right. Well, Drew Brees announced last week that he was Who Dat Nation for life. And now, according to our own Ian Rappaport, he's not expected to push for top dollar on his next contract, which may allow the Saints to sign an additional free agent. So believe it or not, Drew Brees is more likely to win the Super Bowl in New Orleans than Tom Brady is wherever he ends up playing. Are you in on this?
You're going to say no?
No.
Hard pass.
And I don't want the Saints to sit here and say, oh, it's Nate being a hater again. No. Listen, over the last few years, when you look at what happened and the way that their seasons have ended, they've had talent on top of talent on top of talent, and still, they didn't reach the Super Bowl. If you look at Tom Brady, on the other hand, over the last few years, what do we have? 1 Super Bowl ring, 2 Super Bowl appearances. So wherever Tom goes, he seems to be a winner. And I feel like he's going to return back to the Patriots where they will find themselves in the AFC Championship game once again.
And you know, sometimes you see a team in the playoffs and you say, they're one player away. They're one pass rusher away. I don't see that with the Saints. The Saints have incredible players. They have for years. They got an incredible coach. They got everything. And yet, if I was really to bend over backwards, what might make a difference for them, it's somebody on the other side of Michael Thomas. Just somebody. We've talked for years on this show, more than any program in the history of television, about Ted Ginn and how fast he is and how good he is. I just think they're missing that guy. Tell me it wouldn't absolutely sink your battleship if the New Orleans Saints signed A.J. Green in free agency.
Or Amari Cooper.
Then we start making the Voltron reference, or Amari. And I don't know if they could pay him and Michael Thomas, but they're always looking for that big time. We're the Alvin Harper on the other side. I don't think they have him. If they got that guy, then how do you not get to the Super Bowl? Because we've been here for years now. They've had both rookies of the year. They've had a Hall of Fame quarterback, Kamara, Ingram. And they're still not there. The wide receiver is the only thing that would blow my mind. Until then, it's Brady.
The answer is neither. Mahomes is going to win the next 17 Super Bowls. So
in a row? All 17?
This is all semantics. It's all rhetoric.
That's incredible.
Between the two, I think Brees, with the continuity of what he has, and they're bringing back all those guys again, and they've got it all. I would say Brees over Brady, either with whatever shell of a Patriots roster they have. No,
Brees over Brady? They haven't even reached the Super Bowl in the last 3 years, Shrags.
I would think
as talented as they are.
I would think if Brees is clocking wrecking one more time, I would take the odds on Brees over Brady. Brady in a new place or Brady with whatever the Patriots are bringing out next year. That's just me, Nate.
That's a crazy take. Do you know what happened the last few years for the Patriots?
Yeah, they scored 14 points in a playoff game, and they couldn't move the ball on the Titans, and they had no weapons. There was an unhappy.
What about the 2 previous years, Trace?
Hey, if Brady goes back to the Patriots, we can start having this conversation legitimately.
And Gronkowski.
That's basically what it is.
We all know that Mahomes is going to get knocked off by Jordan Love, who's going to get drafted number 5 overall. So he's not going to win 17. But we love here. Better question.
Together today, it's good. With our family.
That's right.
Watching along with us. And guys, the NFL is currently the only major sports league which is not in season. But that does not mean it has not been impacted by the coronavirus. With the latest, here's our NFL Network insider. Actually, I want to bring you guys in.
Oh, thank you.
Allow you guys to kind of give your...
How about the fact that we're here, you know? And I imagine anybody who's watching us right now, there's a really good likelihood they're watching us at home, whether you're with your family, whether you're staying home from work. We got a lot in common with you. My children are not in school. Their school was closed down. They're at home with my wonderful wife right now, and they got board games and Lucky Charms and books, and they're staying home and they're watching. And it means a lot to me that the 3 of you guys are here, and anybody who is watching is here with us. We get it. We know what's going on, and we bring the burden to this table of talking football every day. So we'll try to do it because it's good odds that you're at home on the couch. Maybe you'd like to watch a little football. So we'll do the best that we possibly can, and I know you guys feel the same.
Yeah, I was inspired yesterday because there's a lot of talk about, coming to work, and we live in New York City. We work in New York City. Do you go? Do you not? And to see the folks on CNN, Anderson Cooper and Sanjay Gupta in studio, to see all the local news affiliates in New York in studio working, and to see the inside the NBA crew together, the 3 of the 4 at the desk talking about this. We're here to talk it with you out, guys. Like, we're here for you. I feel like if you wake up with us every morning, we want to wake up with you. And yeah, we're affected by it. We all are, a lot. And we're not sure the answers, but we know that football might be an escape, and hopefully for the next 3 hours, you can escape with us.
That's right. We'll try to have some fun here on the New York Post, the day the sports world stopped. So for me, my concern isn't about sports. Now, I don't know if I should necessarily be saying that, given that this is a football show. My concern is about the family, and by family I mean every other fellow American and every other fellow human around the world. So just make sure you hug and hold those that are dear to you a little bit tighter, and do whatever you can to remain safe. And the elderly that we keep talking about as this is dismissive, that it just affects the old. How about you pick up the phone and call your grandmother, grandfather, those that you haven't talked to in a while, because you never know what can happen tomorrow. But we'll be here for the next 3 hours, and let's try to have some fun.
I think that's the point. We're all in it together. Those of you watching at home with us, those of us sitting here, our entire staff and our crew that's with us here today, we just want you to know that we're here for you, and we're affected by it. We're not blind to any of it, and we're taking the precautions for our families and for ourselves. And we're in this together is the bottom line in all of this.
Yep, great.
And of course, the NFL is currently the only major sports league which is not in season, but that doesn't mean it hasn't been impacted by coronavirus. And so with the latest, here's our NFL Network insider, Ian Rappaport.
Following a day that saw the coronavirus take over and shut down these sports world, including the NCAA tournament being off, baseball season being postponed, the NBA season being postponed, etc., the NFL remains on track for free agency. As of right now, the plan is to open the league year on Wednesday at 4 p.m., as was previously planned, and the league office has said several times that continues to be the plan. So what does that mean? The CBA vote is going to conclude on Saturday at midnight, so we should know in the wee hours of Sunday morning whether or not the CBA got passed, what free agency is going to look like, and what rules teams will be operating under. Of course, there is also the franchise tag window. That is still, as of right now, slated to close at 11:59 a.m. on Monday. So 1 minute before the tampering period begins, teams should know who is franchised, who is transitioned, and who is not. And then the tampering window opens in the afternoon on Monday to kick off free agency. So amid the backdrop of the coronavirus, the NFL still going as planned. The only differing right now in the league schedule is that the annual meeting in March was canceled, but the draft remains on track to be held in late April.
All right, Ian, thanks. And we will, of course, keep you up to date on the latest around the league right here on Good Morning Football. Peter, is there anything you wanted to add there?
There's one more piece to this, that there's the vote coming Saturday night from the players. Now, when they were presented a deal from the owners, it was before the coronavirus outbreak really took over. I mean, it was before all the sports world was canceled. These owners have stadiums that were expected to be oh, I don't know, filled with concerts, MLS teams, all sorts of different. That income is gone also now. So that's significantly changed. I've had many agents and many people on the team side say, wow, the economic landscape has changed. When they were offered what they were offered by the owners and what was agreed upon before this vote came out, the world has changed so much economically. I would hope that the players either A, consider that, or B, hold strong with what they believe, knowing the economic factors. But be sure this. Everyone is going to take a financial licking the next couple of weeks, and certainly over the next couple of months. That includes the NFL owners. Makes this vote very important because that negotiating window ends at midnight on Saturday. And if you want to negotiate after that, it becomes very, very tenuous with what money we're being shared.
Can I tell you, yesterday I was with an NFL player who I will not name, but someone who has financial security moving forward. And I brought it up. I said, what about the CBA? And he said, honestly, I'm not thinking about it right now. I need to start because the deadline's coming. I'm thinking about my baby. I'm thinking about my wife. But I don't know what I'm going to do. I need to start changing gears because it's coming Saturday night no matter what.
Right. It's sort